So this is some crazy shit. This is some dystopian shit. This is straight out of a sci-fi movie. Elon Musk becomes the first gazillionaire. Like, seriously, he's going to be the first trillionaire. But I think it's not going to be like, oh, well, here's my $1 trillion. It's going to be more like his worth, which is crazy. But I think we might be going to space. We might be. He might be sending us to space, but at the same time, it might be creating the Matrix. I don't know where we're going, man. It's going to get real weird.
Elon Musk might be the first trillionaire. Oh, my God.
Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire.
Good for him.
Tesla shareholders approve a pay package for Musk worth roughly
big money.
$1 trillion.
Say it like
big
this,
money.
$1 trillion. The package gives Musk 12 tranches of stock in a 10-year period tied to performance targets that could eventually hand Musk around 25% stock ownership in Tesla. Joining us now to break this all down is Kurt, the cyber guy. Kurt, so Elon Musk is worth about $500 billion right now.
That's a lot of money.
He could increase that by $900 billion, almost $1 trillion. So going from rich to richer, why does this matter?
Tax would be astronomical.
Well,
yeah, it's a lot of tax.
You got to keep him around. He is so tied to that brand. Good morning to you, both of you. And Todd, if you would just give her a birthday hug for me, if you would. Carly, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Elon Musk.
Like, what he gonna do with all that money? What do you think he's gonna do? Like, that's more money than governments.
Having quite a celebration after this pay package has been approved by the board.
I guess this must be why Elon does all of these streams where he gives away Bitcoins. Because he has so much money. I think it makes sense now.
Man, he might be the very first trillionaire. Now, he's got to, got some hurdles to get through. He's got to...
By the way, he's bullshitting. I think he's talking about all the scam streams that are everywhere that are AI.
Do some performance with Tesla in order to earn all of that. But hey, he's done it before. Can he do it again? I would say it's quite possible.
I think that the main obstacle Tesla has to overcome now is creating the idea. Like right now, Waymos are very popular as autonomous cars.
You know what's crazy to think about? Elon Musk is going to be known as one of the biggest, most influential historical characters going forward in the future. Holy shit.
And I think it's shifting the consumer perspective around Tesla also having a monopoly on autonomous cars. Because
well, make something better. You got to do something better. That's all. It's like a Steam situation. If you can't do it better, then they're obviously going to win, and they're not even really changing anything.
Cars, I think, are going to be a transitionary device. I think the reality is that in, like 30 years... I think really...
I think we're about to see a lot of trillionaires, actually. We have a lot of trillionaire companies, but trillionaire individuals, that's a crazy one. That's a new one. We might already have them in, like, the Saudi princes and people in the Middle East. We don't know how much a lot of those people have.
Autonomous driving cars are going to be the future, right? And I think in 50 years, it'll probably be illegal to drive your own car. It will be on public roads. The reason why is that everything else will be autonomous, and
I bet there will be roads where you will be allowed to do it, because I don't think they're going to implement it that heavy in small towns. They might have roads for self-driving cars, and they'll have roads for self-driving cars. Probably the side roads. They'll probably have like side roads.
Will be considered a danger because it will disrupt the system. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. And no, I know, and it might not happen for longer because people that are around our age grew up driving, and we don't want to give it up, right? We're going to be the boomers of that time. But I do think that that's really the biggest challenge that Tesla has right now, is how can you find a way to basically change and create the perception in the mind of everybody that Teslas are the best autonomous driving cars. And if he can do that, I think he earned $1 trillion. I'm going to be honest. I think he totally earned it.
Maybe two.
But that is a very, very hard mountain to get on top of.
Also, he's building rockets. Or he's not doing it, but he's got the whole system going. He's at the top of it.
Guy has pulled a rabbit out of his hat one time after
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so what should we
He
be
will.
watching
I think
for
so. They're too expensive. Teslas are?
I
don't think so.
For him
No, they're kind of cheap compared to a lot of vehicles.
to hit these milestones, because it's not just going to be based upon business as usual, selling a few Teslas. It's got to be a lot more. What are you looking for?
You know, the competition is in China, period. I mean, we've got all kinds of EVs that are being introduced in China that, quite frankly, beat out Tesla's current.
They're really good. Like, China has a lot of really, really strong technology. Same with their phones. Really, really strong, really great technology. I'm not sure
the problem they have, though, is freedom to decide on not using all of that stuff.
Longevity or the quality of it.
Yeah, that too. Like, they build all this nice stuff all at once, but then it all starts to break all at once. And that's how you get dystopian cities, and I think a lot of them are going to be dystopian nightmares. A lot of cities in China already are, and I think you're going to see a lot more as they build new cities that are better than the last ones. And China's pretty good at doing that.
But at least its presentation is really incredible. Those freaking Toyotas, I think those are Japan, aren't they? But I know what you mean.
Current product line, so he's got to innovate there. When you have a U.S. car maker CEO driving a Chinese-made EV saying this quite could be the best car I've ever been in, it's very telling about the U.S. industry as it relates to EV development. So he's got quite a path there for innovating into cars that you and I want to buy.
And also, I think the future is autonomous cars.
Yeah, and also I don't think that we're going to be buying them. I think we're all going to be sharing them. I think it's going to be like a free taxi system.
That's the real future. And if you're thinking about, like, if he's thinking about being in the business for 50 more years, and I think honestly it's going to happen faster than that. I think that's where he's got to be looking. And I'm sure it is what I mean, he's not stupid, right? I mean, obviously, like, that's very clearly where things are going.
So there's talk about stuff
Hope
in
you're
the
wrong.
skies
Sure.
and all that. So at the end of the day, do you think that the shareholders of Tesla made the right call in authorizing this pay package?
Yep. Probably.
Well, you got to keep
It depends on if he increases shareholder value. How
and I think he will.
Doesn't matter. Like, how can you know whether they made,
like, obviously they think he will.
Made the right decision if the decision is based on a incentive that hasn't been realized yet? That's like saying, did you make the right call ordering this meal before the meal has arrived?
Really? What is Tesla without Elon Musk? And at the same time,
silly
it's
question.
tied to performance. So if he doesn't meet
Exactly.
certain benchmarks of performing, bringing Tesla back around, well, he's not getting that kind of money.
I really wish that there were more businesses and more types of companies that behaved in this way, that performance incentives and other types of stock incentives are implemented inside of, their compensation. Like, in my opinion, that's one of the great things that people like Michael Dell did. And so and also NVIDIA is another great example of this. Steam to a lesser extent, where stock compensation is in a lot. They all do. Well, they all do. You're right about that. But the level in which they all do is, I think, too high. I think that if you get employees invested in at a mid-level and maybe even sometimes at an early, like not mid-level, not early, but like an entry-level, position, I think that you're going to see more improvement and higher performance from them. That's why you can have, like a young guy immediately get into a salesman job and
Tesla might be like the actual first Borderlands-style mega corporation. That's crazy.
Really be a high performer.
It's SpaceX also,
because they have a compensation package that's an incentive for that. And you don't have that as much probably working at the federal government, for example. HEB does that. That's a great thing. Bobby Kotick, performance KPIs were insane, and he hit them every time. Bobby Kotick, that guy knew how to make money. You can hate him for all you want. You can say that he is the worst dude ever. But man, could he make some fucking money? Holy shit. I would love to talk to Bobby and just be like, bro, how did you do it? What's next? It's Bobby's world. That's right. Remember that?
Understood.
$200 million golden parachute.
I'm Steve Doocy.
What a fucking G. And yeah, bro, if Elon Musk ends up locking down the $1 trillion fucking package, because you also have to keep in mind, this stock package is going to scale in value as Tesla scales in value too. So if he hits these performance incentives, there's a multiplier effect, because the performance incentives will imply that the stock is also massively improving. So
I think we're probably going to Mars. I think we're probably going to have a city in space. It's going to most likely happen in my lifetime. And that's kind of crazy to think about. I think we'll have stuff on Mars before we have stuff on the moon.
He's going to have a lot of fucking money, right? And I think, again, it's autonomous cars. That's the fucking future, man. It's autonomous cars. And I think also in the intermediary,
I think cheap and reliable space flight is coming very soon.
It's going to be a huge demand. And I don't know about this. You guys feel this way. There's a huge demand for not smart cars, but stupid cars. And I think this is happening with a lot of technology, is that as technology becomes like more like TVs, like a smart TV, a refrigerator with a screen on it, I think a lot of people are not as interested in that kind of stuff as they used to be, right? Newer cars have so much tech now. Yeah, I know. I have one. I know. I'm fully fucking aware of it.
I think screens are probably too inconvenient. It's more inconvenient for whatever system that you're running with to automatically know what you want and fulfill that need. And I think they're going to be using AI to do that, and nobody's going to be looking at screens anymore. I think screens will be used whenever they need to be used, or people want to be entertained by screens. But a lot of it's going to be just like directly in our heads anyway. I would never use the system that would do that because I'm not getting my brain fucking chipped. But the majority of people, I think, would actually do stuff like that. And no thanks. I'll keep my retro stuff. I think a lot of retro stuff is going to become more and more popular too, especially as a lot of the older stuff from like the 70s and 80s starts to crumble, starts to break. It starts to become more rare.
Self-driving will work only when we all have them? Well, that's not even true. How could you say that when there's self-driving cars that are on the road right now?
Like, and you don't even know it?
Like here, let me go ahead and I'll just, let's ask the question. Rate of accidents between Waymo self-driving cars versus actual drivers in the same cities they are in, also accounting for who is at fault in the accident. Okay. So let's go and let's take a look, right? And let's find out right now. That's a long question. Yeah, I know. They can figure it out. It's not a big deal. It's a robot. It does whatever I want it to. It's my slave.
True.
This is my robot slave that does anything that I tell it to.
Yep, fuck them clankers.
Waymo vehicles experience 55 to 91% fewer crashes overall than human drivers in the same cities across categories like police-reported crashes. They're going to happen, little bro? I think that they will happen, but I don't think that it's going to be like the Jetsons. Does that make sense? And I think also whenever you're driving, there's a lot of other complications with like air traffic that's unique to air traffic versus ground traffic. And so like I'm less...
I think we're going to get on rails before we actually get to flight.
Sold on that. But again, in our life, I don't know though. But yeah, you can see all of these here, fatal attributions, and human data underreports minor injury. Waymo overreports minor injuries for transparency. So even with human data underreporting and Waymo overreporting, Waymo's data consistently shows autonomous vehicles are safer than humans in the cities, with fault heavily skewed towards human drivers. Wow.
And I wonder how much they could eliminate with, or, you know, how much death they can not have if they made vehicles flying, and if they were autonomous and you weren't allowed to control it whatsoever, and it just goes off on its own. Like, I think that's viable, especially if it still got less deaths than manual driven cars.
A lot of people don't know
whatever.
That. There it is. You want to set Tesla this year? I mean, I'll try it out. I mean, if he gets a flying Tesla, like, I'd be down to try it out.
Oh,
sure.
Boy. We're getting there.
I'd be down
a floating Tesla
to try this. Oh, man, would I be
like a straight up James Bond car?
Down to try the first one out. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe like it depends on how high. Like, it depends on how high up we go, right? I mean, like maybe like like 20 feet. But you know, I have to really think about that. Like the fifth one. Wait, what do you mean the fifth? Yeah, the fifth one. I don't know. Like, I'd try a second one, baby. I'd be all right. You can survive 20 feet. Yeah, I'd be all right. Yeah, I'd try 20 feet. It's no big deal. You can die from a small drop too. Yeah, but it's like on average, right? And Chinese car maker Xpeng revealed its version of a flying car, displaying it in a new showroom in Sydney. I didn't see that, but I saw the one that goes on water, obviously. And
that's cool.
So yeah, I did see that too. Check same question for Tesla. Well, Teslas are, I mean, they're vehicles.
Oh, dude, they're getting better. Like, we've been having flying cars and like cars with wings and stuff like that, turning them into helicopters and drones and stuff. And we've had cars that go on water that were amphibious, but they're getting better. They're getting better all the time.
Vehicles do not have an accident rate. I mean, I guess some of them do. Like, I mean, I bet sports cars probably have a higher accident rate than, like, minivans maybe, right? But that's because of like the people that are driving them. But overall, obviously, I think it would be basically the same thing. Tesla has drivers on FSD accidents by miles driven. Yeah, well, FSD. What does FSD stand for? I actually don't know. What does FSD stand for? I just know Waymo is entirely autonomous, so I thought it would be a good comparison.
Yeah, I think it's full self-driving. Yeah, they're saying it.
Fully self-driving. Oh, okay. I thought autonomous would be one of the acronym letters, so I assume that's not what it was, but okay, I guess that makes sense too. Sure, Nissan Altimas have the highest crash rate. Do you want to know what my first car ever was? 1998 Nissan Altima. That was my first car I ever had. And I never crashed the fucker. Not even once.
I don't know how I didn't crash my Ford Explorer. It was like a 2002 model, and it was the one that was prone to flipping if you turn too sharply. And I almost flipped a few times in that thing.
All right?
Very top heavy.
To be fair, I did have a drunk girl hit my car while I was not even in the car. It was parked on the other side, and she just hit the car pulling out of my friend's driveway. Because the thing is, like, everybody talks, this is going to sound really bad. Everybody talks about how drunk driving is such a bad thing. Am I the only person that, like, whenever we went to college parties, almost everybody was drunk driving?
I know how you can get to where sober people don't get killed by drunk drivers. We ban sober drivers.
Like 90% of people were drunk driving? I feel like, yeah, everybody was doing this. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I just want to make sure, right? I didn't know. Maybe I did. I'm not saying it's good, by the way. I don't think you should drunk drive. I'm just saying that, like, it's...
I used to do that in high school. Yes, I used to drink in high school. A lot. I was kind of an alcoholic, which is crazy. As a teenager, I was an alcoholic, going to parties every weekend. I wasn't like an everyday alcoholic, except, sometimes it did get there where I was drinking multiple days in a row. Even, like, going to school drunk, things like that.
Not very uncommon, unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah, it's fucked. Yeah, don't do that. You are a piece of garbage. Not saying that I'm not a piece of garbage, by the way. I think I am a piece of garbage. I've just gotten better. I don't do stupid shit like that anymore because I'm not a child. I grew up, and I'm an adult. I make good decisions, mostly. I try.